Morning. On today's episode of What Else Am I Going to Do on a Saturday, I'm changing the brake fluid in this Peugeot 107 from 2013. A 1 litre petrol engine. Not that makes any difference to the braking system, I don't think. So, things I'll need: jack, ugga gun with the correct socket for the wheels, locking wheel nut, Torx wrench for doing it back up again, brake breathing kit, some form of spanner, which I don't know what that will be until I get there, cup of tea of course, and something to take the old fluid out. So what I'm going to do is I've taken the lid off the master cylinder already, well the reservoir, and I'm going to suck it out with that syringe until it's almost empty, put some fresh in, and then start pumping and releasing, which I might need some help with, to be fair. I'll see how it goes. But first thing I want to do is take, using a screwdriver, got to somehow lever this out gently because it's the filter. You've got to be careful. Oh shit! Yeah, like I said, you've got to be careful. With the filter safely removed, and I'll just wipe up the spillages because it's very corrosive with paint muck. Well, this is the engine base, so I'm a bit lucky there, I suppose. And I'm going to use the syringe to suck it out. Now, that is definitely a two-hand job, but I don't suppose you need to watch a video of me doing that, because I'm sure you've got the imagination needed. Okay. So I've managed to suck out, what is practically 180 or so mils of brake fluid out of that. Ignore the bits floating out. I think that was a contaminated syringe, but it was on suck, not blow, so not too fussed. And into a handy receptacle for safe disposal later. So what I'm going to do now is fill the reservoir to the top with this new brake fluid, and then get on to the rear of the car and start the work needed there. Next step, get that wheel off, and I've picked the one that is furthest away from the reservoir, which is the correct thing to do because you get more of the dirty fluid. It's really annoying is when the socket gets stuck on the nut. Oh, God. Brilliant. Right, time for some hammering, I think. Hammer, chisel, and some WD-40. God, and probably some new wheel nuts. Never mind. Right, so bleed nipple is behind here. I get this rubber cap off and then get a nut. Unfortunately, it's just spinning and spinning and spinning, so I probably have to get a small screwdriver behind it, gently and ease it off. Okay, but there is a nut there, and yeah, that's the bleed nipple. So the cover just pops off, revealing the bleed nipple, which you'll loosen with, in this case, a 7mm spanner. But not before attaching the bleed kit. So that fits over the nipple, feeds into that tub, and this particular one has a one-way valve at the bottom of it, so you shouldn't get any air sucked back up into the system. Note I said shouldn't. Right, so what you do now is you slacken that off, go and get the nearest available human being and get them to slowly pump the pedal. And then what you're looking for is the dirty liquid to come out and the clean liquid to follow it. When you get the clean liquid and no air bubbles, you tighten the nipple. Right, so have a go at it. So the spanner, it goes on the, this is from the other side now, I've done this one. And I'm going to slacken it and then push the brake pedal down, please. And what you'll see, okay, close it off, lift. So we're lifting the brake pedal, so slacken it up, push, lock it off, lift, okay, push, lift, and so on until it comes out clear. The other thing, of course, to do is to ensure that the reservoir doesn't empty. So keep an eye on it and keep it topped up while you're doing this, otherwise you run the risk of having to do it all over again if air gets in the system. Right, that's all four wheels done. So last thing as far as the fluid is concerned, is to re-top up the reservoir, put the lid back on, and then torque up all the wheels, which I've done. And with torquing the wheels, if it goes straight to click, then back it off and then go to the click, because it'll be over torqued potentially. So apart from that, it's all done. Shut the bonnet, test drive. Okay, to give you an idea of why that was worth it, that is that's the last of the tube, so pretty much clean fluid. This is what came out. And don't forget that that has an element of new fluid in it as well. So yes, definitely worth doing. Okay, thank you. I find it quite helpful to have a little reminder when everything was done, so particularly with the brake fluid, not so much with the oil, but with the brake fluid, so I did put a label on it saying today's date, in English format of course if you're watching this in the US. Now I don't know what you think the 18th month was, but never mind. I fully appreciate you can't polish fecal matter, however you can sprinkle glitter on it. So I thought these centre caps would brighten things up a bit.